Hello, my name is Aaron Poris. I live off of Maple and Middle Belt. And I think that I could probably positively speak for everybody when I say that we wish for the safety and the health of all innocent civilians in Gaza, the West Bank, Israel, Jordan, and everywhere else. Now, on to my statement. Jordanians who support Jordan's right to exist are the scum of the earth, and the only people on par are Americans who support Jordan's right to exist. Israeli Zionists are the scum of the earth, and the only people on par are American Zionists. If only one of these statements upsets you, you are part of the problem, because they are exactly the same thing, and they are both disgusting sentiments. Now, I'm a free speech absolutist. I do actually support Ms. Fakih's right to speak this way, and I don't wish her doxxed or harmed. But there absolutely must be a consequence for such rhetoric among public officials. It is an abuse of the weight of her position, an insult to her many Jewish constituents, and an outright challenge to Israelis, Jews, Arabs, Muslims, Palestinians, and others who are actually working towards unity, peace, and coexistence. And it is an implicit call to support Israel's and the United States' enemies, which in this case are Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and the IRGC, all of whom are prescribed terrorist groups in this and many other countries for good reason. Therefore, Ms. Fakih must be removed from her position immediately. And "she'll be gone soon enough, so let her be" is not a good enough objection. It shows an indifference to a plague of hatred that is becoming ever more pervasive in our lives, consequently because of such indifference. And if you don't believe me, one only has to look at the extreme spike in anti-Semitic hate crimes across the country and our community, which dwarfs nearly all other race, religion, or ethnicity-based crimes combined, despite Jews only making 1.9% of the United States population. Now, when the anti-Israel crowd calls out against Zionists while standing in front of university Hillel houses, synagogues, the Jewish Federation, and even the Holocaust Memorial Museum on Orchard Lake just a few miles away, it becomes painfully obvious to whom they are referring and for what they stand. So back to the statement. Israeli Zionists are the scum of the earth, and the only people on par are American Zionists. Setting aside that Zionist is, in this pejorative context, is almost always a dog whistle for Jews, if one follows the logic of Fakih's statements, then they should be rooting for Hezbollah, which has terrorized and murdered tens of thousands in Lebanon and Syria, including American service members. That we should support Hamas, which gleefully slaughtered innocent men, women, and children on camera, uses human shields, takes hundreds of hostages, including Americans, and throws gays and political opponents off of roofs. That we should support the Houthis, which have been terrorizing the seas in their neighboring Arab states for years, and that we should support the Ayatollahs in Iran, who fund terrorism globally, sanction the murder of young women for wearing their head coverings wrong, and hangs people from cranes and macabre public executions while chanting "Death to America" and "Death to Israel." I don't know about you.
Please wrap it up.
But this does not seem like someone who should be empowered to represent this community or anyone else in America. I'm going to skip now to a bunch. Especially when we consider that this only came out because Ms. Fakih's message was leaked. Ms. Fakih asks us to see her.
Please wrap up.
I think what she says when she thinks she's behind closed doors is the best glimpse into her mind.
Your time is out.
Very end. Nobody should put the words in her mouth, and you put your words today, which paint Israelis and Jews as untouched by the conflict as opposed to Muslims and Christians, only serve to show that you have no real remorse.
Thank you.
I wonder
move
what
on.
you've said before.
Woo!